These are animal movements or animal flow, a type of workout that only uses your body weight and do the sequence of movements in order for you to, well, work out. This also has similar movements and will build the strengths, coordination, flexibility, and other things you need for other body weight sports, such as rock climbing, ninja warrior, and parkour. If you're looking for a new way in order to work out and to do anywhere, I'm gonna take everything that I learned through the quarantine and pass that knowledge on to you. We're gonna go over the basic animal movements that you need, transition those into sequences or animal flow, show you some advanced ones, and a very simple workout that a beginner and advanced can do anywhere, starting right now. Starting with the basic movements. The first one we're gonna go over is QM, which in the parkour community means quadrupedal movement because, well, you got 4 limbs, gotta use all 4 of those bad boys. It's also referred as cat or cat curl and sometimes referred to as beast. What you're gonna do is you're gonna get on all 4s and you're gonna make sure that your back is straight and your knees are close to the ground without touching. Then you're gonna try to walk opposite hand, opposite foot. This is gonna simulate climbing up a ladder and simulate movements that you want to do, such as in rock climbing. Start with it slow, it's gonna make a lot more sense. And you get used to it, you're gonna get better coordination, which leads into the gym class hero, the crab walk. You're gonna go on your feet and you're gonna go on your hands, this time with your stomach facing out. It doesn't necessarily matter which direction you travel. It could be forward, sideways, backwards. The main thing is you're trying to do the same thing as QM, opposite hand, opposite foot. This tends to hurt the wrist a little bit more if you are not warmed up or if you don't take the proper breaks using the other animal movements. The good news with crab is you can put more of your weight forward, putting more on your feet, putting less pressure on those wrists. Now you're looking like a silly crab. You can snip around wherever you want. Those are the only 2 you need for beginner animal flow. Now there are so many more animal movements, but with those, that helps transitions into your first animal flow. Sequences, combining it together. First one is called an under switch. You're gonna start in QM position. You're gonna pick up 1 leg and 1 arm. The ones you're choosing is that they are opposite. So if it's your left arm, your right foot is going to raise. If it's your right arm, it's gonna be your left foot. Then you're gonna swivel down and the goal is to get that leg kicking through that hole that you created by picking up that hand and that foot. When you're first learning, it's very easy to be able to sit down. That's okay, but ideally we wanna balance up. Bring your leg back, resetting into QM, or you can kick your leg through and go into crab. Now the reverse is the exact same thing. From crab to QM, pick up an arm or a leg, opposite hand, opposite foot, balance on 1 leg and 1 foot, bring that leg through that hole or that arch that is created when you pick it up, and now you're gonna reset into QM. The next one is sometimes referred to an over switch, sometimes referred to as a scorpion switch. Start in QM position. This time you only need to pick up 1 leg. Then you're gonna swing that leg around on top of your other leg. The idea is to try to get the bottom of your foot back onto the ground. The more flexible you are, the more you're gonna be able to keep your hands down and the further you can get your leg over before you have to pick up. Once that foot touches, you'll be able to switch back over and go into crab. Going from crab back into QM, you just pick up 1 arm, move it over your body, then you twist back over, and now you're back into QM. Now with those 2 separate sequences, you can do a better sequence, just combining them together and having lots of fun. Switching from QM or cat into crab using either the under switch or the scorpion, and you can have lots of fun doing it. The fun one is once you have more coordination, you can also do this while traveling, switching between QM and crab. Now you have your first basic sequence. Just like the other animal movements that we're gonna learn, you can add those into it and just have some fun with it. The more animal movements you learn, the more things that you can add to a sequence, such as the bear walk. This one's gonna help with flexibility as well, as you need to keep your arms and legs straight. This is supposed to be a slow movement. You are gonna feel it in your calves, and you can tell how flexible I am by doing this. The other bear walk you can do is yogi bear. Hey there, boo-boo. The idea is to bounce back and forth. Doom, doo, 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 doom, doo, 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 doom. Staying on your tippy toes, staying on the balls of your feet. And lastly, for basics, is the monkey. Some people also call it chimpanzee or the ape. This one, you're gonna be traveling sideways. Whichever direction you are going, the opposite arm is gonna go down first. So as an example, if you're traveling right, your left hand goes down, then your right hand, then your left foot, and then your right foot. When you're first learning, you're probably gonna put both hands down and then both feet down. Ideally, you wanna go hand, hand, foot, foot, hand, hand, foot, foot. This would be reversed if you're going left, you're gonna go right hand, right foot, left foot. And as you get better, you're gonna learn some advanced animal movements, with our first one being lizard or Spider-Man. You're gonna start very low to the ground, spread out more like a gecko or a lizard. Then you're gonna start with one hand and one foot on the same side, meaning right hand, right foot, or left hand, left foot, very close to each other. Similar to the QM, you're gonna be traveling opposite hand, opposite foot. Then to make it even harder, every single time you travel forward, you do a push-up. A more advanced version of this is chameleon. First thing you do is you pick up your hand and leg, the opposite hand, the opposite leg. Then you're gonna do one of those lizard push-ups, but while balancing on one hand and one foot. Then you make your movement, now you do your lizard push-up, and you rinse and repeat. Which leads to the next advanced one, the Kong. This is a movement or a vault from parkour. The idea is you're gonna be jumping forward. You're going to start on your feet, leaping onto your hands. After you jump and land on your hands, you're doing a backwards motion, meaning trying to push the ground away. Very similar to if a dog needed to dig in the ground. As you do that, you thrust your hips forward, getting your feet down onto the ground. At first, your goal is to just get your feet in front of your hands. Then you want to get your feet between your hands, and then eventually you'll be able to get your feet further than your hands. An evolution of that, or onto the next advanced one, is the crouching tiger, in which you're going to jump onto your hands. This time, you want to bring your hips as high as you can, and you're going to slow yourself down, catching yourself in the air. If you want to learn handstands, or you have tried to learn handstands, it's going to feel familiar. Then, after you catch yourself in the ground, you're going to slowly bring yourself back down, very similar to a handstand push-up, and your feet get back to the ground. Now that your Pokedex of animal movements have been vastly increased, now you can take those in order to do more advanced sequences. An example of this is the jumping tiger. You can jump into this, and this time go into a worm. Yep, just like the one for breakdancing. Hey, it's called an animal. I think it's gonna work here. The more animal movements you learn, the more things that you can add to a sequence. Now, let's use those animal movements to get freaking strong with an animal movement workout. This full body workout is simple. Have a start and an end, which I like to find by doing 5 ginormous steps. Not an exact unit of measurement. It's not like it's the metric system or anything. 5 giant steps is going to do perfect. Then you're going to do 5 squats, then do QM or cat crawl all the way to the next marker. Then when you make it there, you are going to do 5 push-ups, and you're going to rinse and repeat. The goal is to do this 10 times, and you have a simple workout. In order to make this harder, exchange the squats for squat jumps, and when you're going back, you can do QM backwards, which adds a level of difficulty. Also, you can change the animal movement you are doing there and back if you want to change it up as well, or pick a more advanced one to make it harder. It's very customizable. Like I said, this helps build muscles, endurance, coordination, flexibility. But we want to learn some new ones. Spice it up. Have a list of new things. For that 8-pack ab that you're trying to get for beach season, you have the inchworm. The idea is to try to keep your arms and legs as straight as possible. You're going to try to get your hands as far away from you as you can. The idea is to try to get yourself as close to the ground as possible without actually touching the ground. Then you move your feet back to your hands, rinse and repeat. And the next one are legs specific, which get me every single time. You have a frog jump in which your hips are just more wide, your hands go between your feet, and you're jumping up and you're jumping far. You're leaping as far as you can, and you don't need to kiss it for it to turn into a prince. For duck walk, you're simply trying to stay as low as you can, as low to your feet as possible, but making sure your feet are still in front of you. Then you want to keep your chest up as much as you can. Then you're just going to walk forward, trying to stay in that low position. We also have got horse walk, which is similar, in which you're staying in 90s, keeping a wide stance and trying to walk forward. And then we've got little bunny hops. Very similar to duck, you sit really, really low. Without losing that position, you're doing very small jumps. And for arm specific, if you tried any of these, any of the advanced ones are going to work your arms a lot. And any of the basic ones you do slow, such as the monkey, QM, or crab, it's gonna work on your arms. Also, for the basic ones going backwards will also work on your arms. And you can also do this one called the lazy dog, which is more just funny. Let's get freaking strong. The second workout is more cardio based. The idea is you have a list of 10 animal movements. You're gonna do that animal movement twice, meaning you're going to do there and back. Your goal is just to finish the list of the animal movements as fast as possible. For an added level of difficulty, do the animal movements backwards on your second attempt. You can also change the order that you want, but this is the order that I usually do it in. Starting with a QM crawl, then you're gonna do frog, then transition into crab, then you're gonna do duck, going into bear, switching into horse, getting a little break with monkey, switching to bunny, then to end with a more advanced one of Kong and ending it off with inchworm. You can time yourself and see how fast you do, and then try to beat your time as you get better at these. I always get tired every single time, which is good because it's a full body workout. So, do they look cool? Do they look fun? Are you gonna try animal movements as part of your workout? Or do you already have animal movements and you want to share them? Put them down in the comments below. Would love to see what other animal movements that you know or ones that you can come up with and see how it goes. And if you already do this and you know a lot of cool animal movements or any other bodyweight movement skills that you have, I would love to see it. You can always hit me up on social media. And after that, I will see you at the next adventure.